John Cena is back, and it's not just for 1 week. He will be back for 7 straight weeks of Friday Night SmackDown. Let's talk about it. So once WWE announced that John Cena would be returning for, as I already previously said, 7 straight weeks of SmackDown. I knew I wanted to make a video on it, I just didn't know when. So I just decided to wait till his first appearance and see what kind of gets stirred up and see where this would lead. So on John Cena's first night back, he opened the show with a little promo welcoming Hershey, Pennsylvania to Friday Night SmackDown. He also announces that he's going to be the host of Payback the next night, but he is interrupted by the man who turned heel about a month earlier, Jimmy Uso. With Jimmy Uso being preoccupied with the whole bloodline stuff with Solo, Roman, and of course his brother Jay, I thought he wouldn't really be involved in the Cena return. However, I kind of like where they could go with this. So this video, I'm going to tell you where I think they're going to go. Just remember, Jimmy Uso is a very important part down the line. Now, if Triple H gave me the pin for this John Cena run, I would, from a marketing side, really market it as John Cena's final full-time run. We know he's going to be back every now and then, but we won't see him this many weeks on TV consecutively. And I would do that because in doing that, you can give him a reason to want to get in matches and storylines with multiple people and not just put these 7 weeks on one specific person. We got that on his first 2 appearances already. He got involved with Jimmy Uso. Next night, he got involved with the Miz and LA Knight storyline. John Cena's next SmackDown appearance will not be till Friday, September 15th, because Friday, September 8th, he will be in India doing the Superstar Spectacle, teaming up with Seth Rollins, I believe, against Imperium. That event will not be televised, so I'm not really too worried about that one, so we'll just move past that for now. So I will be booking how I think the rest of his run should go from Friday, September 15th, starting now. So on this episode of SmackDown, John Cena opens the show with a promo welcoming the fans of SmackDown, and he's about to announce what he didn't get to announce that September 8th episode of SmackDown. That is instantly interrupted by Jimmy Uso. Just have the two go back and forth, but somewhere in that promo, John Cena should say something along the lines that if he wanted to face an Uso, he would go face the better one on Raw. And I want that just to sit and eat at Jimmy, because that would probably just cut deep. And as far as the Bloodline storyline, I don't really want Jimmy getting back in the Bloodline, but for the sake of the Cena story, I'm going to have him go try and confide in Solo and Paul just to keep him occupied for now. To end the promo side for Jimmy, just have him say something along the lines of, I'm going to show you why I'm the better Uso, and just leave the ring. But as Jimmy's walking up the ramp, John Cena announces that make his in-ring return at Fastlane in October. This is where I say John Cena's kind of tour of the SmackDown roster begins. Later in that same show, people backstage are vying to be John Cena's opponent for October 7th's Fastlane. As far as for Cena on the episode, let's head to next week, Friday, September 22nd. Once again, John Cena opens the episode of Friday Night SmackDown, welcoming the fans, and just kind of more hyping up this in-ring return at Fastlane. Comes the LWO led by Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar. Rey's doing more of the talking, saying, yo, give Escobar a chance. John's respectful, shakes his hand or whatever, but interrupting is Grayson Waller and the man that defeated John Cena at WrestleMania, Austin Theory. Grayson goes on to antagonize both Mysterio, Santos, and Cena. Theory is just throwing out there that he wants to finish what he started at WrestleMania and take Cena out for good. But as they're all arguing, the camera pans backstage. Looks like Jimmy Uso is about to make his way out to try and claim that match for Fastlane when he is stopped by Solo, saying he's going to take care of it. Cena and Solo have a stare down, but Adam Pearce comes out and announces that they're about to have a fatal four-way right now. Winner faces John Cena at Fastlane. And that fatal four-way is Santos, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, and Solo Sikoa. Put Cena on commentary for this match just to make it fun. Santos is about to pin Austin Theory, but he turns his attention to Rey Mysterio and Grayson Waller having an argument. He then attempts to help Rey Mysterio. And Rey Mysterio is about to throw a punch at Grayson Waller, however, it lands on Santos Escobar. With all this disruption going on outside the ring, this gives Solo Sikoa enough time to pick up Austin Theory and land a Samoan Spike to get the win. He will be facing John Cena at Fastlane in October. Later in the night, Adam Pearce says with everything that went down the fatal four-way, he is announcing that at Fastlane it'll be Grayson Waller and Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship. And at another point during the night, John Cena runs into Santos Escobar backstage looking all discouraged and whatever. Cena tells Escobar that he was really impressed with what he saw in that fatal four-way match. He gives the advice to be who he truly is and to never lose that fire. Remember that for later. Now that we are at the Friday, September 29th episode of SmackDown, let's talk about what happened here. So for this one, I would really just have him and Solo have their first face-to-face promo. Have Cena commend him and acknowledge that he sees him as a future up-and-coming star in the WWE. He's going to do what he has to do at Fastlane. Paul will do the talking more for Solo than anything and just continue to hype him up. But this promo is interrupted by Jimmy Uso once again, with Jimmy just basically saying that he really wanted a piece at Cena, but after Fastlane, he won't be back to make any more of his dates. But on the off chance he does, he'll be watching that Fastlane match very, very closely. But however, for the next week of SmackDown, on a Friday, October 6th, I would do the contract signing here between John Cena and Solo Sikoa. Here, I would open the show with the contract signing and have Cena in this veteran type of role kind of make the challenge out to Solo that he wants to see what he's all about before the match. And throughout in the main event of this episode, you will face a superstar of my choosing. Callback from a few weeks ago, John Cena is going to go ahead and offer that spot to Santos Escobar. Although he tries his best, Santos just does not get the job done. With Cena at ringside, Solo Sikoa gets the win, using the Samoan Spike on Santos Escobar. After the match, he of course goes in and offers some more advice, basically saying the same things along the lines of don't lose that fire, remember who you are. That leads us to Saturday's Fastlane, where Rey Mysterio and Grayson Waller in their United States Championship match. And here, Santos Escobar is at ringside, acting very heelish, trying to help Mysterio win, but not in the most face type of way, so Mysterio's like, appreciate it, but back off a little bit. He's pulling the ref out, he's trying to make distractions, he's just getting in the way a lot. All the while, Mysterio's trying to explain, like, that's not the way I want to win, that's not the way we do this. All this is distracting Mysterio when Grayson's gonna hit his little stunner type of thing. Santos pushes Rey out of the way and starts beating down Grayson Waller. Bell rings, Rey Mysterio's trying to push Santos off of Grayson Waller, trying to snap some sense into him, wondering what's going on. And I would kind of execute it the way that Dominic turned on Rey at Clash at the Castle, where it seems like he's cooling down, he's backing off a little bit, and then he strikes Rey Mysterio. And after every strike, he's like, I can't lose that fire, I'm remembering who I am, whatever. Basically exactly what Cena told him. And at some point before Cena's match, Santos is backstage looking for Cena, looking all excited, and he's telling Cena he did exactly what he said to do. And Cena's just basically saying, like, that is not what I told you to do. You misconstrued it or whatever. That was the wrong thing to do. Santos doesn't say much to that. He just walks off, still feeling proud, but also confused. However, we have made it to our main event between Solo and Cena. A lot of this match, Solo is just dominating, but Cena's able to sneak out, land a few punches, but Solo keeps staying on top. But remember, this is a bloodline match, so we're gonna go ahead and do a ref bump right here. Ref is down, out comes Jimmy Uso with the steel chair. And of course, Jimmy Uso's aiming the chair at John Cena. However, he moves out of the way, lands it on Solo. Attitude adjustment to Jimmy on top of Solo. Ref gets back up, John Cena goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. John Cena defeats Solo Sikoa. You might be thinking, doesn't that make Solo look weak, have him losing to John Cena, an older John Cena? To be honest, I really don't think so. Especially if you have him dominate Cena throughout the match. But now that that is over, that brings us to Friday, October 13th for Friday Night SmackDown. Cena opens the show saying these next 3 weeks are his last 3 consecutive weeks on his tour. He wants to go out with a bang, so he's going to wrestle 3 straight weeks on TV. He says although he's not the United States Champion, he will be hosting an open challenge. Says that open challenge will be the main event of SmackDown. Mysterio comes out, says he will accept it, and he will put that United States Championship on the line. Brings us to main event time. John Cena makes his way out first. Mysterio's coming out, but he is attacked, and that is revealed to be Santos Escobar once again. Here we get Santos Escobar versus John Cena in the main event. As I said earlier, I want Cena to work with people he hasn't worked before, and I think him versus Santos would be a good match. Especially if you can throw in the story with Santos finally turn on Rey and kind of try to prove himself against Cena. This match is also interrupted by Jimmy Uso, who is obsessed with getting one over on John Cena, helping Santos try to get the win. However, Rey Mysterio is there to go and even the score. Rey and Jimmy brawl on the outside, and that distracts Santos, which lets Cena roll him up for the win. Just have Jimmy there sitting there just distraught. He once again could not get one over on John Cena. Brings us to the next week, Friday, September 20th. From here, I'll have Santos really just focus on Rey Mysterio more than Cena and anything. He'll bring Cena up, but it'll always be directed at Rey. For the Rey and Santos feud to start. But as Cena opens up the October 20th episode of SmackDown, announces once again he is hosting an open challenge tonight with only 2 weeks left on this tour. Interrupted once again, Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso once again says that he wants this one, and that he wants to cut this tour off early. Cena says he accepts Jimmy Uso's challenge, but he wants him to wait till next week so he can really sit and think if this is what he wants to do. Cena says he's more trying to protect Uso. He said he's always liked the Usos, but he can see that people think Jay is better. And he says even he thinks that, and he doesn't want to be the one to expose that is the truth. Cena says that this open challenge is still open, but he will see Jimmy in the main event of next week. Now, for this one, it really doesn't matter who you put in the spot. For this October 20th open challenge, it could be someone from NXT. It could be Grayson Waller, it could be Montez Ford. Hey, let's do Montez Ford just for the sake of it. You just want someone that's going to put on a good match with him. This match doesn't have to be story center. It can just be a good back and forth just to showcase Cena's still got it and put over a younger guy. Putting him over as far as making that superstar look good. However, still have Cena win. You'll see why. This finally brings us to the final stop of John Cena's last full-time tour. Friday, October 22nd, Friday Night SmackDown. Let's talk about it. John Cena opens the show, talks about the main event, talks about what this run has meant to him, and just leave it at that. Let him have a good opening promo. Then in the middle of the show, have Jimmy Uso come out and cut a promo to the crowd, talking about what this match means to him, why it means so much for him to beat John Cena, and prove that he's the better Uso, because after this there will be no doubt, saying he's tired of being compared to Jay. He loves Jay still, but he just doesn't want to hear his name associated with his now. That finally brings us to the main event of SmackDown. We got Jimmy Uso versus John Cena. I'd say give him the last 30 minutes of this night. Give them time for both of them to get stuff in. Cena ends up trying to hit the attitude adjustment towards the end of the match. Jimmy lands on his feet. Boom. Super kick. But after he does it, make him just kind of look shocked at what he's seeing. Then pick him up and hit him with another super kick, then another, then another. I'm gonna need a bunch right here. And after Jimmy Uso lands way more than needed, he just has this kind of psychotic look on his face. Him not even be able to believe what he's doing, lands the Uso splash and gets the win. And that's how you end the episode. Everyone's just kind of like shocked, quiet, with Cena just laying in the middle of the ring, while Jimmy is just kind of confused at what he just did himself. But for this to work, I need Jimmy the next week his reasoning on why he did what he did is pointing out that he's always had the stomach to do what Jey Uso wasn't willing to do. He had to initiate the first kick on Roman. He had to initiate the super kick on Sami when Sami hit Roman in the back with a chair at the Royal Rumble. And now he was the first one to take out a big name superstar in WWE. He was the first one out of the Usos to pin John Cena, and now that proclaims him to be the better Uso. Maybe down the line, that's why you can do a Jey Uso versus Cena or Jimmy versus Cena rematch. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Let me know if y'all want more stuff like this. This was actually kind of fun to make. I just picked up my phone and started recording as a test, and I just kept going because I was liking how it was coming out. In the comments, make sure to let me know how you would book John Cena 7 weeks on TV. As always, make sure to like, comment, follow, subscribe for more videos just like